You've returned. It is time for chapter 27. Please come closer. Tonight, I will tell you about a train ride I once took many years ago. It was late, very late, the kind of hour when the city grows quiet and even the neon lights seem tired. I remember the platform clearly. The air was cool and the station was nearly empty. Only the distant hum of electricity and the occasional metallic echo of footsteps broke the silence. Soon, the train arrived. Its doors opened with a soft, mechanical sigh. Inside, the carriage was almost completely empty, just a few scattered passengers sitting quietly beneath the pale fluorescent lights. I chose a seat beside the window. The doors closed, and the train began to move. The rhythmic sound of the rails beneath us was strangely comforting. Clack, 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 clack. Outside the window, the dark city slid past in long streaks of shadow and light. Occasionally we passed a station. The platform lights would glow briefly before disappearing again into darkness. But something felt unusual. At the next station, the train slowed. I expected the familiar chime of the doors opening, but the doors did not open. The train paused for only a moment, then continued moving. I thought perhaps the train had been instructed not to stop. It happens sometimes. Still, something felt strange. A few minutes later, I noticed that someone had taken a seat across from me. I had not heard them board. They sat very still, their heads slightly lowered, their hands resting quietly in their lap. At first, I thought nothing of it. After all, people often sit quietly during late-night rides, but after some time, I realized something unsettling. The train windows had become dark mirrors, and in the glass beside me, I could see my own reflection clearly, the seats, the lights above, the empty aisle, but the person sitting across from me had no reflection at all. The train continued moving through the night. Station after station passed by. Each time we slowed, each time the train paused, but the doors never opened. The silent passenger across from me remained perfectly still. Not once did they move. Not once did they look up. I felt a quiet unease growing inside my chest. You see, there are stories in Japan about certain trains that appear only late at night, trains that travel along familiar lines, but do not follow the same rules as the others. Some people say these trains carry passengers who are no longer among the living, and sometimes a living traveler boards by mistake. Eventually, I gathered the courage to look directly at the passenger across from me. Slowly, I lifted my eyes. At that exact moment, the train lights flickered, just once, and when the lights returned, the seat across from me was empty. The passenger had vanished. Moments later, the train slowed once again. This time, the doors opened. I stepped out quickly onto the platform. The station was completely silent. No conductor, no other passengers, only the cold night air and the faint buzz of the overhead lights. When I turned back toward the train, the carriage where I had been sitting was completely empty. Not a single passenger inside, and yet I could have sworn that just before the doors closed, someone inside the train was still watching me. Another whispered story from Japan. The trains continue to run through the night. carrying their quiet passengers through cities that never truly sleep. And sometimes, if you ride long enough, you may find yourself sitting beside someone who does not appear in the reflection of the window. As always, I will remain here, between shadow and memory, watching, listening, waiting.